Be prepared. April this year was really hot time for scouting in Poland. Awaited us in the election of the new authorities of the Union and canonization of Blessed John Paul II. I'm Paweł Szulc. Hello and welcome to the ZHR News.
And in this program, election chiefs of scouts, preparation for the canonization of John Paul II, trip department of rovers at the Reunion Rovers in England, white service at the Vatican and in Poland.
Prepare the union of the canonization of our compatriot John Paul II has been ongoing since January. Then we started the project Scouts on the Road.
Scouts, there is a saying that all roads lead to Rome. And I suppose that's true, but in the near future we want to show you another way that leads to a completely different place. Be prepared, Scouts! We began preparing for the program Scouts on the Road on a specific way, the way of St. Jacob. It is called the most beautiful road in the world, the long street in Europe. It leads from 1,000 years to the grave of Apostle St. Jacob, Senior in Santiago de Compostela in Spain. The first stage is pilgrimage of thanksgiving for the pontificate and canonization of Blessed John Paul II. The idea is that each scout has traveled a minimum 100 kilometers. If 100 scouts will travel this stretch, will be more or less correspond to the days of the pontifical the Polish Pope.
Pilgrimage routes of St. Jacob is not the only preparation of the canonization scouts. We made also in insult spiritual battle.
Be prepared, Scouts and Girl Scouts. We start time to preparing for the canonization of two popes, including one of countrymen very important for us, John Paul II. I wanted to invite you a special time of preparation, spiritual preparation. I think the most important thing of us is, what is your experience? For me, John Paul II is an experience of fighting with himself. He was not afraid to fight. Probably you remember the sentence that said, a very famous about Westerplatte, that each of us must find in himself a place that will be his Westerplatte. For this, I would like to invite you to find not a big king that will be win the war, but I would like to invite you to win at least the battle on insult on the week.
In an unusual way, instructors ZHR thanked his outgoing faction's head of scouts. Check it out.
Dzięki.
Dzięki. Dzięki. Dzięki.
Dziękuję.
Bardzo dziękuję.
Good job! Chciałem, Sebastian, Tobie podziękować i to dla Ciebie.
In April, held a Congress ZHR during which summed up the past cadences and chose the new authorities.
Baczność, sztandar Związku Harcerstwa Rzeczypospolitej wprowadzić.
As it turned out, departing from the position of authorities to greater extent respect in your organization. The proof of this was re-election the chairman of the organization of Ewa Borkowska Pastwa. The chieftain's authorities remained conservative tendency. Chief of Scouts was Sebastian Gruchala again, and the head Girl Scouts was again Katarzyna Biedroń.
In the 77th date of April, Scouts and Girl Scouts have participated in wide service during the canonization of blessed popes John Paul II and John Paul XXIII.
In Rome during the canonization was more than 1,000 Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts of ZHR. Before canonization in the courtyard of the church in the name of Jesus in Rome took place solemn appel, which was also attended by outside ZHR Scout of Europe SHK Zawisza. Among the guests was the First Lady Mrs. Anna Komorowska and Mrs. Karolina Kaczorowska. Scout and Girl Scouts also gained FNC-wide service 2014, which was the motivation of the spiritual survival on this event and confirmation of participation in the celebration of the canonization.
Holy Bar Simon's Yacht Rock in England from 12 to 15 April hosts once 42 rovers from the banner of UK ZHP PGK and its annual event Rovers Young Forest.
The event was attended 7-member delegation from the departments of rovers with the chief. Over these few days, event participants had the opportunity to work by rovers scheme, to exchange experience and to roam the beautiful countryside within their own cones. Grand events were carried at SCAP reaching monuments and natural sites. During the event, our instructors have improved cooperation with our brothers in UK, exchanging experiences and different concepts of rover movement. Also undertook work on the concept of individual rovers check with their level sophistication of the rover cones.
From a long time, with a great concern, we observed the situation that is taking place in Ukraine. We stood to serve and provide assistance to victims of the events taking place in our eastern neighbors.
Needy in Ukraine during the Easter received the first package sent Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts on ZHR.
Since April, the organization Scouts began to appear in the new Scouts uniforms. How are it different?
At first glance no different from their predecessors, but have several significant features such as pagon with a hidden button, veins under the arms or even some butthole beneath the cross. Even Girl Scouts notice our great presence a new uniform.
Introduction. The organization, according to preliminary information, will last up 2 years. And finally, even the accent of the extreme way of the cross from the area Jedynia Letniska.
Even Scouts false, but them how arise proves just that which is a scout.
That's all for this edition of news, another part for the month. I invite you cordially. Be prepared.